Hi everyone, welcome back to the final parts of our app, of our dictionary app building using MIT App Inventor. So, before we move on, let's review what we've done so far. Now, we've built a dictionary that when we type in a word and click the search button, it will search for the word and give multiple meanings. So, multiple meanings will appear and we can click the speak button. So our app can now fetch multiple meanings and give pronunciation for the word. Now, in this final path, we are trying to make our app, we are trying to update our app to be more professional. So, what are the updates we'll be adding to our app? Number one is the error handling. Now, what do I mean by error handling? We want to make our app smarter because right now, if the word is not found, the app can break or show nothing. Let's say our user did not type in anything, or they type in a wrong word, or they misspell a word. It's either our app crashed or it will just be empty, which is not good. It's not professional enough. So we need to find a way to undo those errors to make sure that, okay, even if users are not spelling the right words, or they are not putting the right words, we have to find a way for our app to tell them that, okay, word not found, or type in the correct word without crashing or without displaying empty blank space. So now, how do we achieve that? First thing first, let's add a very important component. Now we will now bring backwards our label. So we come here, then we label. So we bring back our label. Now in this case, we'll name our label. Let's rename our label. Let's name it indicator. So our label now is what? Indicator. To indicate, to tell the user word not found, or type in the right word. Let's move to our logic. Now in the logic, I said we are trying to undo errors. Now, if our user types in a wrong spelling and our app can't find the word, this block of code will still run regardless, which tends to crash our app, because when the meaning is not in the online dictionary, which is the API, the text will be the web one got text that we'll be getting will be error, and it will crash the app. So how do we do this? How do we manage the error and help it and make it not to crash the app? So now we'll remove this. We need a control statement. So whenever we have a right word, the app should run normally. But whenever we have a misspelled word, the app should show the user that, okay, this word is not found. It should display a text instead of crashing. So we come to control, then we'll pick if then else. So we'll plug it here. Now we'll come to math, then we'll pick equal to. So bring it here. Now we'll get respond code. I will explain why we are doing this. Let's just follow me. Let's increase size. So we'll come to math, then we'll get our zero block, then we turn it to 200. Now, what does this mean? So the respond code means the code we get back from the web 1. Now, if the code we get back from web 1 is 200, what does 200 means? 200 means the app is running perfectly well. So whenever our app is running perfectly well, whenever our user types in a correct word and the app is running perfectly well, we should run this code. Our block should run. Whenever user types in the correct word, the correct spelling, the app should run. But now, what if the user did not type in the correct word? So we come to indicator. Now we set indicator text to. So set indicator text to. We set indicator text to. Now this will be, instead of our app crashing, this will be what will be displayed to the user. So let's just set it to word not found. So now instead of our app crashing, it will just display word not found on the indicator, which is our label. And we just copy this, we duplicate this, then we bring it here. Why are we bringing it here? To make sure that even if after we did not find the meaning, it should still clear the list, because we want it to look nice and neat. So now we've handled the error for the web 1. Now let's handle the error in the search button. So like I said, a good app doesn't just work, it also handles mistakes. Now the second mistake we are trying to handle, we've handled the first mistake, which is misspell of word or when word is not found. Now the second mistake is when user do not have any word in the search bar, but the search button is still being clicked, meaning the search bar is empty. So we have to undo that error, because if you just press the search button without having any word to search for, the online dictionary will bring an empty list which can crash our app. So how do we undo this? First thing we need to do is we come here, then we remove this. Now we come to control, then we pick the if then else. Now if there is a text in our search bar, we should set web 1 URL to the online dictionary and get the meaning of the word, then call web1.get. Then they can now do the normal searching for the meaning, going through the list, through the loop. But if the text bar is empty, we need to display a warning like we did here. We need to display a warning here too, to tell the user that, okay, please, can you type in a word instead of the app breaking or crashing. So how do we achieve that? We come to logic, then we pick equal to, meaning our search bar. So we go to search bar, our search bar text, then we pick the equal to. Now when our search bar text is not equal to an empty text, so whenever we have a word inside our search bar, be it wrong or right, be it misspelled or not misspelled, it needs to run this. It will run this, then call the web1.get. Now the web1 will be the one to sanitize the word to see if the word can be found or if the word cannot be found. But for this, we are trying to make sure that there is a word in the search bar. so as for us not to crash our app or get a blank page. So now, what if we have an empty text box or search bar? So we come to search bar, we come to indicator, which is what our label. So we come to indicator.text, set indicator.text to. Now we come to text. So this will be like a warning that will be telling our user, please type in your word. So this will tell our user, please type in your word instead of crashing. So we just added, or we just undid the error like a professional. So our app will not crash. Also, let's add some few things to make it look more professional. Now, let's come to indicator. Let's add more updates. Let's come to indicator. Then let's come to set indicator text to. So we bring it here. Then we come to text. Now, what are we trying to achieve here? The reason why we have this is that when the user clicks search, it will be showing searching in the label so that they know that the app is working. So when the user clicks search, the label will display searching, so as for the user to know that, okay, this app is working and the app is trying to get the meaning. So we just type here what searching, then we type dot dot dot, okay, sorry, searching. Then so this way the user would see that this app is working, and we've successfully undo the search bar the search button error, and also the web1.get error. For the second update, we want to have our app read the first definition out. So we don't want it to pronounce the words alone, we want it to read it. So right now our app only speaks the word, but we want to improve it to make it what? To make it read out the first definition. So how do we do that? We would add one more button, but before we add one more button, let's come here and search horizontal arrangement. Now we add horizontal arrangement here. No, we add it here. So we put this pronounce button, then the second button. So we have two buttons now. Now let's design our horizontal arrangement. So let's make our width fit parent, and let's make the height automatic. So we don't want to increase the height. So let's align vertically, let's make it center. Let's align horizontally, let's make it center. So we have both buttons. Now let's come down to the second button. First things, let's rename it. Let's rename it to read button. So let's design our button. So let's change the font to be 20, the font size to be 20. Let's make the font bold. Let's change the background color to be orange, and let's change the text color to be what? White. Now let's change our text to be what? Read, and let's change the shape to be rounded. So with that, we are done with the designing of our read button. Now let's write the logic of our read button. So how does our read button, what does our read button do? We said it will be able to read out the first definition. It will be able to read out what? The first definition. And we would also have to undo the error in it too. So how do we achieve that? We come to our read button. They'll pick whenever read button is being clicked. So because we want to undo the error, let's do everything together. So we come here, then we come to our if then else. Now we'll come to math, then we'll pick the equal to, but we don't need the equal to, we need the greater than sign. So now, because we are dealing with a list and a number, we can't just input the set get global variable. We can't just put it here. Whenever global variable is greater than 0, it should read out the first definition of the word. But now, we can't just do it like this because we are dealing with a list and it will return an error to us. So we have to come to list. Then we'll come with what? Length. If length of list for what? Get global definition list is greater than 0. So we come here, then we pick 0. Whenever our list is greater than 0, then we should what? We'll call text to speech. So we should call text to speech to read out the message. Now, what message are we going to read out? It will be what? Our get list. Now, we want to read our get list, but we are not trying to read everything on the get list. We just want we want what? Just a single, the first definition on the list, the first meaning on the list. That's what we are trying to read out. So we cannot plug this directly. So we'll come here, we'll come to list. Then we'll pick what? Select list item. So get our global definition list. Now, select list, let's just duplicate this. We need to select the list item. And we are trying to get what? The first list on the list, index number 1. So now, it would only read the definition on the indexed number 1 in the global definition list of the word we are searching for. So whenever we get a definition of a word or definitions of a word, it will only read out the first definition of the word, not the whole definition. It will only read out what? The first definition of the word, not the whole definition. Now, if the list is now lesser than 0, we should call text to speech. Meaning, whenever we don't have anything in the definition list, we'll call text to speech. Then we'll come to text. Then we'll just say it should read out no meaning found. We've successfully handled the error. So whenever we did not get the meaning of the word, the text to speech would say no meaning found. So whenever we press the read button, even without having anything in the search bar, we've already handled the error. Just to add more updates, let's increase the width of our search bar. Let's make it 65 just to beautify it and make it look more appealing. Let's make it 65%. So if you can increase, decrease, change color as you like. And with that, we've upgraded our app, our dictionary app. And we've so let's test out our error handling. So we download, we build so we can compart it into APK and we can download it. So we download it, it's comparting.
To run. Watch. A portable or wearable timepiece. A portable or wearable timepiece. A portable or wearable timepiece. The master of the servants of a household. The master of a feudal manor.
So with that, we've come to the end of the lesson. So let's go over what we built from part 1 to the last part. So part 1, we are able to build a dictionary that displays meaning and also pronounce the word. Then in part 2, we were able to understand the logic behind it. We understood the data. We understood more on loop, the list, and the JSON formats. Then the final part, which is the part 3, we were able to handle error and improve our app. So, like we know it, this is where we handled the web 1. So whenever we get the text from the web, from the online dictionary, this is where we handle it. When the word is found, it will run, get the list, follow the loop, get multiple meanings. Then if the word is not found, it will display an error and empty the list. And for the search button, whenever our button is not equal to an empty search bar, it fetches the word, it fetches the meaning of the word from the API and return it to the app, which is what call web1.get. But when the search bar is empty, it will display a warning to the user. Please type in your word. And we now have what the read button, whereby we read only just the first meaning of the word. And how do we achieve that? We set the length of the list to be greater than 0. Whenever the length of the list is greater than 0, it would read out the first definition. But when it's lesser than, meaning when the read button is clicked, even without having a definition, it will display, or it will say a warning. It will say a warning, no meaning found. And with that, we've come to the end of our dictionary app using MIT App Inventor. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to comment enjoy. And if you have any question, you can put it in the chat box below. And the API for the dictionary will be in the chat box so you can get them. So with that, thank you for watching. Bye bye.